Here we go, guys. Guys, this is question 2. Sorry, I had to go to a CPR training course, but this is question 2, and most of the answers got through C right here. So, how many people are in the concert, or in the auditorium when the concert begins? You have to show your integral from 0 to 2. All right, it has to have some sort of the rate. You can do the whole thing or just the R and the answer. Boom, 2 points. Graded. All right. R prime of t, find the time of the rate people enters the auditorium is a maximum. This is a calculator question, so you could look at the graph of R prime of t, and you may have to manipulate the graph, or you really could just set the function equal to 0, but you should get those two things. All right, and if you didn't get them, guys, and see how we have more than what we need here. Actually, we need to talk about storing this number. Okay, storing this number. I'll show you how to do that tomorrow. The maximum rate may occur at 0, there, or 2, the endpoints. Okay. So R of 0, all right, the storing A, 0, and R of A is 854. R of 2 is 120. So I think when we looked on this in class, I think we saw that it would cross at t equals 2. I don't know why. I remember that, but for some reason I think we thought it crossed at t equals 2. But hey, you know, we just got to keep working, get better. Maybe we typed in the wrong equation. We just looked briefly. So hopefully we got that. Y'all got that number. All right. Got to consider the critical point. You got 1 point for just even trying the critical point, right? Just 1 point for finding the critical point, and 1 point for your answer and justification. Okay. So the maximum rate occurs when t equals there, and actually that's talking about the maximum rate. So what you would have done is you'd have taken the derivative of the rate to find the maximum rate, and maybe that's where we might have looked at it in class and misread it. Hopefully some of us picked that up. Okay. C right there. So you take the integral from 1 to 2. Okay, integral and answer. I don't think you're necessarily required to write this part, but if you did, great. Alright, equals there. Boom. Alright. Okay, go ahead and grade that. D. On average, so you got to write the average value tool. Write it out. Okay. Integral with the average value tool. If you did not put the 1 over b minus a every single time like we talked about in class, no point. Just guys, be honorable. Alright, this is, as I'm kind of figuring out the grades for these, I'm going to make it as fair as possible. You know, even thinking about maybe discounting that question, but I don't know. We'll talk about it in class together. All right, so grade it. There you go. Please write the number missed to the top, guys. It helps me record it really fast, and I get it back to you really fast. So this is out of 2, 4, 7, 9. All right, next question. All right, the Diffie Q. All right, there. We ended up with this right here. Okay. So let's see. Oh, light turned off. Turn back on light. There you go. All right. So let's see the slope field. Just take a look at the slope field. You got 2 points for the sign of the slope at each point, and the relative steepness of the slope lines. So yeah, the relative steepness. Yeah, that's interesting because these are not as steep as these. And so there has to be some sort of difference between these and the sign, as long as it's increasing. The last time we graded one of these, the rubric said only that it had to be increasing. It had to be increasing when it's positive and decreasing when it's negative. Make sure if it's a big positive number, it's really increasing. Big negative number, really decreasing. Just so that they're different looking, right? They just have to be different. They don't have to be perfect. If you know this is more, it's got to be steeper than this one. All right, next one. 7-point question. Wow. So let's zoom in here. All right. So right here, you got to separate the variables. We did this one really good in class. Okay, so here is a little interesting. Your constants there. Okay, so what happened here was, let me explain this right here. What happens here is they plugged in the initial condition after they just changed K to C. We don't do that. So if you're just copying, I'm gonna catch you, because we don't do that. We plug the initial condition as quickly as possible so we can find this K, and we know what to do in order to find K. Or, you know, we know we can find K right here, okay, or really C. We do C. Anyway, so be honorable. There, C is 2. This is different. We got C was natural log of 2, okay? So, and most of y'all, that's what I saw y'all getting. C was equal to natural log 2. That's correct. And right there. So separate the variables. Go through antiderivatives. That's those. Constant of integration, that's your K. Uses initial collision as long as you plugged it in. As long as you plugged it in. Okay? And that's not what we see right here. That's not what what most of us did. Not that I saw in class. Alright, solves for Y. So even if you mess up here, but you got Y by itself, boom, that's a point. And if you didn't get Y by itself, you only missed a point. Alright? Now, number 1 is the domain. You had to state the domain. X had to be less than 0. Alright? X had to be less than 0. Now let me tell you why. Give me a second so I can figure out why. Why does X have to be less than 0? Okay, so when X is less than 0, I'm not quite sure why X is less than 0. This is putting me on the spot. Here X is not equal to 0. Understand that. Okay. When I integrate, my first step in my integration says the natural log of X, the natural log of the absolute value of X plus K. Alright. So there we go. So here, the domain is dependent on whatever Y was, whatever Y is. Okay, or domain, I can, it seems to me that I can plug in more, whatever I want. So, very interesting. I don't know exactly why this X has to be negative. Let's this is an omit, because I'm not quite sure. It's got to be somewhere in the steps here. Somewhere in the steps, X has to be less than 0. So here, if X is greater than 0, well, if we take a look at this, cross multiply, that yields X is equal to, nope, right here, natural log of, so let's do some, let's say if X is E, natural log of E, which is 1, equals natural log of 1 plus y, opposite value of 1 plus y, plus natural log of 2, 1 plus natural log of 2, equals natural log of 1 plus y. Drop an E on it, e to the 1 plus natural log of 2 equals 1 plus y I have no idea why. Oh, light went off again. Alright, guys. I'm not quite sure exactly why the domain has to be x is less than 0. I'm sorry. For it to be a positive number, possibly. I don't know. I'll have to look at it. Alright, so that's an omit, so this is out of 8. Sorry guys, sorry to keep you waiting here. This is out of 8, right? Okay, so make it out of 8 and don't count the domain on the last part. If you got it right, great. But don't even grade it. Alright guys, well take care, have a good night. This is it. Grade your papers. Be honorable. Gotta finish 21 through 80 as well. Bye.